Hello friends, and happy Straturday. Psyberry here with another Darkest Dungeon How to Use guide. Quickly, before I begin today, thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this guide with a friend. Alright, let's do this shit. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into how to play the Abysssinker. The Abysssinker was released December 2nd, 2020, and last updated January 18th of 2021. The credits, I don't have as much detail as I would like, currently available to me. I apologize. The mod page is in Chinese and doesn't go into a lot of description of what everybody did, but I do have some names. Zimic, 54NBB, and Yilin. And I apologize that my lack of bilingualness has affected this, but overall, thanks to everybody for what you did for this wonderful class. Let's just start off by diving into the base stats. The HP is going to start at 20 at first resolve, and progress to a 36 at max resolve. It goes up 4 HP per level. This is what I would consider below average. Grave Robber and Shieldbreaker have this exact same progression, so it's not too bad, but it is a little on the fragile side. Dodge is going to start off at 5 at first resolve, and progress to, oddly enough, a 24 at max resolve. This will go up 5 every level until you're going from resolve level 4 to resolve level 5. It will only go from 20 to a 24 in that interval. But it's still very, very, very comparable to average dodge. Something like a Bounty Hunter or a Crusader is very comparable to this dodge level. There is no proc to speak of on this class, like many that come before it. The speed is going to start off at a 3 and progress in an odd way. I'll show you real quick on the max level one I have here. You'll notice that the armor says it's giving speed too. He actually gets an armor boost to his speed, so it's going to progress through 2 different building motions, but here's the numbers that are relevant. At first resolve, it will be 3 speed. It will move to a 4 at second resolve, and then a 5 at third resolve, and then a 6 at fourth resolve, and it will stay there at 6. So this kind of starts off at an average value, but because there's a bonus 1 for like 3rd level armor or above, I think, this is actually going to become a slightly above average end goal speed value. Something like a Vestal or a Hellion is very comparable to this. The accuracy mod is 0, as you would expect. And the crit is going to start off at 5% and progress all the way to a 9% at max resolve. This is a very high crit. It's probably second highest of the custom builds, and it's equal to a Hellion or a Highwayman. The only one that's going to get more crits than this is like a Shieldbreaker or Arbalest, I think, might as well. So you're going to find he's going to get a lot of crits if you cater his moveset to that. And finally, the damage. It's going to start off at 4 to 10, which is a kind of weird damage spread at level 1, and move all the way to a 7 to 15. So in the early levels, it's going to be very comparable to frontline damage. It's going to be very reined into what a Highwayman or a Bounty Hunter would do. And then it slowly tapers off at the end, like the last 2 levels, to be more of the backline spread damage. But still, the way I would compare it is almost Bounty Hunter damage, and it just kind of falls off a little bit at the end. So he's potent enough that he can put some good damage on, but you're kind of counting on crits, and you need either dodge or prot or a guarding buddy to keep him healthy and relevant. Let's just jump right into the combat skills. The first skill is Machete of the Curse. This is usable from rank 2, 3, or 4, and you can target rank 1, 2, or 3 opponents with this attack. It's a melee attack that will move the Abysssinker forward 1 rank. With an accuracy base 95, a damage modifier of -10%, and a crit mod of +2%. This move has full armor piercing, and will, with a 25% chance, stealth the Abysssinker for 2 rounds. This will also buff himself. With the move Soul Harvest, it will receive an additional 8% armor piercing. And that will stack for a while, so if you use a couple of these in combat, they will last long enough to kind of be able to use it if you want to use Soul Harvest. The second combat skill is Murloc Hook. It is usable from rank 1, 2, or 3, and can target rank 2, 3, or 4 opponents. This is a melee attack that will move the Abysssinker back 1 rank. It has an accuracy base of 85, a damage modifier of -35%. It bypasses guard. It will do an additional 15% damage versus Eldritch opponents, and it will receive +100% crit while stealthed. We'll get into that a little bit later. This also debuffs the target from -10% prot, with 100% base. So this is not a bad debuff. How does that progress, actually? -15%. That's not bad. That is not bad.
The only problem is it's only going to be hitting 1.
I generally like to target a little more than just 1 target with the debuff, but this is doing a lot of work here. And that 100% crit while stealthed, you can kind of abuse that if you know how to get stealth on your party members. There are trinkets that can do that from mod classes. There's the other move that might be able to do that, and there's one we're going to get to later that will stealth him for a few rounds. And there are other units that can stealth allies, so this is really useful. The third ability is Illuminating the Abyss. It is usable from rank 1, 2, or 3, and targets both rank 1 and 2 opponents. It's a ranged attack with an accuracy base of 90, and a damage modifier of -60%. This has a bonus crit modifier of +1%, and the enemy party will be de-stealthed. The Abysssinker themselves will receive 13 stress, and you will buff your other allies +6 accuracy and +3% crit with 100% base. So this is kind of a weird little attack that will AoE the front ranks, do a decent chunk of damage, and de-stealth any stealthed enemies. But more importantly, it's also going to buff accuracy and crit of your allies. The fourth skill is Past Memories. You can use this once per battle, and you're going to target yourself. You're going to stress out for +15 stress. You are going to stealth for 2 rounds, and you buff yourself +18% damage, +10 accuracy, and +7% crit. These actually progress pretty good. +32% damage is nothing to sneeze at, and 15 accuracy, I mean, that's really good for a trinket to be giving you, so kind of a 1-turn self-buff. I can't imagine that being any different. But this is a... if you got a turn to spare, this is not a bad way to use it, because then you will be able to use Murloc Hook off the hook. No pun intended. And the fifth skill is the Call of the Deep. This is usable from rank 2, 3, or 4, and will target rank 2 and 4 units of the opposing party. It's a ranged attack with an accuracy base of 85, a damage modifier of -85%, and a crit mod of -9%. This will stun the targets at the 100% base, and the Abysssinker themselves will receive 8 stress damage when they use this attack. This will also buff another Abysssinker move, Drowning Together, for +8% crit. An 8% crit is really good, and that's the AoE move that I actually prefer on the Abysssinker, so this almost gets a lot of play from me, but I don't need it. When I go out with the Abysssinker, I have other party compositions in mind where I don't really need crit out of burning together. The sixth ability is Soul Harvest. It is usable from rank 1, 2, or 3, and will target rank 1, 2, and 3 opponents at once. This is usable twice a battle. It's a melee attack with an accuracy base of 90 and a damage mod of negative 60%. There is no crit modifier here. It will do a bonus 200% damage if the Abysssinker's stress is above 100. So if you are afflicted, which is the only thing the Abysssinker can be if it stresses out, this will do 300% of its normal damage instead of what you're used to. So this damage modifier of roughly 40% damage will actually kind of be more like 120% of the damage. But this is going to reduce his stress, the Abysssinker, for 12, and stress out your allies for 8 apiece. So this is kind of a unique way for him to de-stress, but also kind of gives it to his allies. If you can play around with that in your party and that's not going to affect you, then this is going to be really useful in those kind of situations. And finally, the seventh ability is Drowning Together. It is usable from rank 2, 3, or 4, and will hit rank 2, 3, and 4 opponents at the same time. It is usable twice per battle, and it's a ranged attack with an accuracy base of 95 and a damage modifier of negative 80%. This ability will stun all 3 of those targets with 100% base, and it has a chance to stun yourself with 105% base. And that does progress up with the level, but it will max out at 140, just like the attacking variant of it. And this will inflict 20 stress on the Abysssinker. If you can stack the stun resistance of your Abysssinker up, this can be really, really good. As is, it is actually a valid trade without that. If you just focus on damage, dodge, maybe a trinket that will give him a chance to stress when he hits with an attack. If you just gear him out for that, this is still a very useful ability in that kind of a build, because you are trading the potential of 3 turns for his 1 next turn. So it's not a bad trade at all. So real quick, we're going to go through his camping skills. You'll notice he doesn't have the 3 generic ones to accompany his 4. He's kind of like the Flagellant in that way, that he has less options. But that does not mean they are less powerful. The first camping skill is Night Watch. It's a time cost 3 camping skill. You are going to add 15% to the scouting chance for the next 4 battles, and 15% to the chance that monsters are surprised for the next 4 battles, while preventing nighttime ambush. This is a very good camping skill, and there aren't a lot of nighttime ambush prevention abilities that are 3 time cost or less. So this is probably the one I would use. If I'm taking the Abysssinker out, this is one that I will unlock every time. The rest are all good, but they're more situational. The second camping skill is Salvation. It's a time cost 4 camping skill, and you will de-stress yourself for 200 stress, but in return, you will receive 100% less death blow resistance until camp. So from the time you camp and use this, it is going to basically reset affliction, unless you have a significant nerf to your stress healing. This is basically going to reset your affliction in exchange for, if you're on death blow, you have 0 death blow resistance until the next time you camp, which could be the end of the dungeon, or it could be a situation where you have 2 camping in a long dungeon and you just want to use them back to back. The third camping skill is Embracing the Abyss. It is a time cost 3 camping skill that will target himself. This will reduce Torchlight by 100. It will add 60% to the stress received to the Abysssinker for the next 4 battles. It will add 20% damage to the Abysssinker for 4 battles. It will also add 10 accuracy and 3 speed to the Abysssinker for 4 battles. And all companions will receive 60% less stress for the next 4 battles. This is really impressive. If you're going on a dark run anyway, this is not a bad thing to use. I have not tried to get rid of that plus 60% stress debuff this comes with on himself. I have not tried to get rid of that with medicinal herbs. It may be worth a shot, especially because this is a very good self-empowerment ability, but also a stress-limiting ability for all your allies. And the final camping skill is Connecting Souls. Connecting Souls is time cost 1. You will add 8 stress to the Abysssinker, and they will try to communicate with the dead nearby. This can be used twice while camping. So what this does is this is going to summon lost souls as items into your inventory. You can also find these lost souls in battle. You can get them as battle rewards. I believe you can loot them if the Abysssinker is looting. But basically they are special inventory that I don't know what they all do offhand, and I don't have, physical notes at this time that go through them all. But there is one based off of the Jester, the Antiquarian, the Man-at-Arms, the Vestal, and the Highwayman. And they all do different things, and they are all very, very useful to one party member that you use it on. So as far as party compositions go, the Abysssinker is an interesting story. He's kind of got a lot of interesting AoE spreads, multi-target attacks, and the kind of, if you need someone who can do self-buff and damage, or lay down some stuns, the Abysssinker is your dude. They're going to be very good at that, and they have a lot of supportive camping skills available to them. So if you can build a team around that, you can actually get a lot accomplished in a party with the Abysssinker, because you're kind of getting some very interesting spreads and tech out of one unit. Like if I were to run with Drowning together and I'm maximizing stun chance, and yes, if you add a trinket to him that adds stun skill chance, it will add to both of these skill chances, by the way. That's why you need to really buff his stun resistance as well. But if you're maximizing his stun chance, and you bring in this, you are trading a lot of turns for just the Abysssinker's next turn, assuming that you don't have the stun resistance to resist that. Alright, we are going to look at the trinkets that I have for the Abysssinker real quick. I have one on the one I'm going to take out into a dungeon later. We'll get to that at the end. There are 2 Crimson Court trinkets and a Calm trinket as well. You can buy with shards, but I don't have them, so my apologies. The first one we're going to go over is the crew list. The quote here is, "They must die again." This will add plus 20% damage versus unholy creatures. On a monster kill, you will de-stress yourself for 5. And on a monster kill, you will buff yourself. And Soul Harvest is going to receive a damage and crit buff for every time you kill a monster. Soul Harvest is the interesting AoE that does damage here. I find that this is going to be a very good stacking thing. At first, you're not going to notice that these buffs are going to help you very much, but if he gets a lot of kills, it could be very, very beneficial to run with something like this. The next one we're going to go over is Knowledge of Barren Abyss. The quote here is, "There are countless taboos in the book." This is going to add plus 15 accuracy if your stress is below 100. This is going to add 100% to the stress you receive if your stress is above 100. on an attack, you're going to self-stress for +6, and on an attack, your allies are going to de-stress for 3. This is a very interesting trinket, mainly because it's going to be slightly recovering the stress you might be giving to your allies while stressing you the hell out. It's pretty much made to go with this. Soul Harvest is going to benefit a lot from that trinket being used. And honestly, I have not tried it, but it looks like, honestly, the only way to do so without also bringing, like, an overclocked, always stress-healing Jester as well. So it's kind of an interesting build. The next trinket we're going to go over is the Treasure Map. The quote here is, "If you can't take it, bury it." It's going to add 25% scouting chance while in the cove, a 20% scouting chance if the torch is below 25, and a plus 20% to trap disarm chance. So, I mean, if you're going out on dark runs, this is about as useful as the Houndmaster's, like, scouting and trap disarm thing is. The 20% scouting chance if torch below 25. I believe that is directly offsetting. I could be getting the number wrong here, but I believe that's directly offsetting the negative to scouting you get in Pitch Black. But if you're going in the Cove, you're going to get that bonus back. Like, you're going to get an additional bonus. So if you're going in the Cove and in the Dark, you're getting 45% to your scouting chance with this item. But it's kind of a, you know, just one of the, I don't want to call it generic, because it's a lot cooler than that, but one of those generic trap disarm and scouting chance trinkets. The next one we're going to go over is the Static Pocket Watch. This is the uncommon trinket. It's going to reduce the max HP of the Abysssinker by 20%. In exchange, it will add 50% to stress relief skills and 50% to stress heals received. So when he has a stress relief skill, he is going to hella benefit from it, and his allies are going to benefit from it as well. So the Pocket Watch, just definitely a reassuring thing for the Abysssinker, even though it brings him closer to death. Finally, we got the Sailor's Dagger. It's the common trinket. It's just going to have +5 accuracy and +1 speed. And, real quickly, the trinket I have on my Abysssinker is the Soul Lantern. The quote here is, "Some of them are innocent victims, while others are recruited heroes." This is talking about the lost souls that he finds while he's out adventuring, and also when you use this camping skill. But the trinket itself is going to add 25% to your stun resistance, which is bonus if you're using Drowning together, and a plus 25% to your stun skill chance. Those offset each other in the case of his self-stun. But that's important because it's empowering his AoE stun while it's offsetting that for stunning himself. So this is a very good trinket for that because it includes both those things. It's going to cost you because you're going to receive 20% more stress, minus 100% torch burn rate if torch below 25. What that means is if you were going out with a torch that is, I don't know, 18% lit, your torch burn rate stops. It will not go completely out on its own. It'll just ember and dwindle, which is kind of interesting. These last two lines actually throw me for a loop, which is kind of one of the reasons I'm trying to test this out. This is 2B hit, teams heal 2 HP with a 30% chance. And the same thing with stress -3 with a 30% chance. I believe what this is saying is if the Abysssinker is hit, there's a chance that your allies receive an HP heal or a stress heal. Now, it could be way off about this, and this could also, I mean, it's completely possible that it function, but it's probably some obscure thing that had to be labeled as such, because I speak from experience. The coding language is kind of weird in this game. Anyway, that is it for the trinkets. Real quickly, let's also go over what quirks would I lock on this class. I have, on this one, Eagle Eye locked. I'm not so sure that is the best thing to be locking. However, it does kind of, in my case, offset the not so great stunning, or I'm sorry, not stunning, critting of this attack here. You'll notice it has no crit modifier. This Eagle Eye is going to make it so crits are going to happen a decent amount of time because it's a ranged skill. But otherwise, so unless you're doing that, I wouldn't lock something like Eagle Eye. But if you're going out in the light, where light works, if you're going out in the dark, taking advantage of some of that, then Lurker is a good option, especially if your primary goal with the Abysssinker is damage. Corbin's Eye is always great. Scouting chance is always a boon, and accuracy is nice. I do have to briefly talk over this custom quirk on the Abysssinker. Past beliefs. Some things must not be forgotten with time. And it's going to give you a 15% stun resist, and 25% move and debuff resist as well. I believe this happens when you use past memories. I don't know if it's a certain percentage chance or not. I believe this is the move I used and made that happen. Could be mistaken. But it does come from something in his kit, if it's not that. Haunted Trot is also really good. I'm surprised I haven't locked that already. And I hope that doesn't get overwritten when I take him out to adventure. But anyway, the goal of this one, simply put, I've also boosted his stun resist with the Molten Tail Feather, and past beliefs obviously was helping as well. So that stun resistance is insanely high, and I'm hoping that is good enough to not have to really worry about it. So, we are going to roll. It doesn't really matter how long the dungeon we're going to do is. We're just doing a level 5 dungeon, so that I can just run in there, get a lot of stuns, try and show off how this guy plays.
The swine draw power from their horrid markings and crude idols. Tear them down.
Tear them down. So, we're going to try out this torch burn rate thing. We're at torch 13. We're going to walk around with that for a while, looting, and see if our light burns out.
Finding the stuff is only
I kind of hate
step.
this middling
Now
disability
it must be carried
shit.
home.
But, yeah, man. Any torch value under 25 is going to stay as you walk around. It's kind of cool.
Are unsurprising.
It just means
These
it's never
tunnels
going to go
predate even the earliest settlers.
really dark. Which is an interesting way to do low light, but also not do completely pitch black. Because you gotta wonder in those situations where there is literally no torch, you gotta worry about the Chandler.
The darkness holds dominion.
And I don't really feel like worrying about the Chandler right now. We're gonna go get this guy and we're gonna backtrack. Oh, it's just spiders. Son of a bitch. Okay, well, at first, fun. Well, we are going to stun the front spider. And it has to be the front spider because... drowning together, here goes. Triple stun, and I did still stun myself with 153% stun resistance. Still stunned myself. That's pretty dope, I'm not gonna lie. Well, everyone's stunned. Take your pick, Oh Saw Hunter, who I'm thinking will be next week's video, because he's so new. But I don't know, there's a lot of old shit I need to do. Let's see, we're gonna run straight into...
Eradicated.
Wrecking this face. Alright, stab.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
And we are going to just smash that one in.
Decimated.
We got some dead folks. here is the Soul's Defender. This is the Man-at-Arms Lost Soul. No, we don't want that. We have it. We have it already. We don't need that. I do not intend on using Drowning Together all the time. And yes, with this, it's super, super busted. However, I do have a way to get the stealth going, so I don't necessarily need this. We're going to bring that out for damage. Why not? Oh my god. Go in the door. Oh, that's not the door. Oh my god, the background tricked me so hardcore. Yikes. Okay, over here. This is a quest location. I'm hoping it also has a fight, because I don't want to have to travel through most of this dungeon just to show you guys 3 fights, but we'll see. It did not. Okay. That's okay, the next 2 are over here. I hope. Hey, here we go. This is a good party for that other move. Okay, we are going to straight up, I'm going to use past memories to stealth myself. It's quite the stress damage. Stun you. We are going to... Hell, I'm going to stun everybody. That works for me. I'm cool with that.
Precision and
It's a little
power.
sad, but I'm gonna make it work. Well,
Continue the onslaught. Destroy
now you'll notice
them all.
the stealth didn't seem to work. It's weird. Can you resist that? That is odd as hell. Oh no, I unstealthed with... Okay, because it was dumb. With Senua. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, we're just gonna Soul Harvest.
Devastating
Just to
blow.
show it off. It would have been a lot better if there were more targets. But that did not happen. So heal a little bit.
Surgical precision.
Well, we're gonna do this instead then. Get that stealth back. Watch, I'm a smart guy. You just watch. Okay. I don't have the de-stealthing move. This is... perfect. I'm good at this game, I promise. I'm good at this game, I promise. We're just gonna wait a little longer, yeah? We're gonna go AoE heal real quick. Not this, because that'll de-stealth him.
The bigger
Damn it.
The beast,
Little
the
post
greater
kill.
the glory.
Okay, I got the Jester Lost Soul. Alright, so let's just get rid of some of this shit. I don't need all this. Alright, well, let's try and put that move on. This is the one that de-stealths, right? Yes. Okay, so we're going to straight up do that. Please be an enemy in this room, this room. That's what I'm talking about. Battle number 3. Hopefully I can actually show off the high crit of the Murloc hook.
About to break.
Okay, he goes first, and I don't have the move again. So we're just going to do this and see if we're lucky into a stealth.
Destroy.
We also got a crit. Fuck yeah, we did not get the stealth, but that is fully acceptable. Because I'm going to do this. I'm gonna do this, just get everybody topped off, and buy a turn, because the Abysssinker's next turn is going to hit the front rank and debuff, de-stealth rather, and then everybody can target the big guy. It's gonna be kind of a life hack. If you wanted to make that work out more in your favor, you could speed up Senua and speed down the Abysssinker. I have a plus speed on mine, but if you wanted to sync it up and make it work better, that would be the way to do it. you're just going to straight up stab you. Because it's what we're good at. Oh no. What? I don't understand. Enemy party de-stealth. But I can't target. Well, that's weird. So I guess this is only useful... I kind of fucked myself into a corner here. I guess this is only useful if the other targets have stealth on them. This is a good way to remove stealth from other targets. My god. Wow. This is... I'm sorry, guys. My god, everybody. I am super sorry. This is not my normal guide. I'm all messed up on this one. And it's all because I'm not bilingual. It's my fault. Well, I am still stealthed, so let's get that crit.
A singular strike.
And moved himself back in the party. So now I've taken myself out of range of a few things. We're actually going to try and stun him again.
Struck.
There he is. There he is! We can get, yet again, another visceral on that guy.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the
Alright,
sharp
we got a mighty
blade.
blow. Dead. Alright, folks.
Success so clearly in
That is really all the time I have to navigate
merely
through this.
a trick of the light.
This stealthing self, I imagine I just didn't notice it, and then I actively de-stealthed it myself with an ally. So that works as intended. This one is a little strange, because it doesn't say it ignores stealth. And I didn't catch that when I was going over the move. Maybe I'll have some text fixing that when I edit. Anyway. But, regardless of all that, it's a very fun mod, and just give it a shot, and you will probably find a team that you love using with the Abysssinker. Thanks for watching. We got another Let's Play video coming up on Wednesday, and another guide next Saturday, which may or may not be the Saw Hunter here. He's new, and he's fun, and we might get that guide video out of the way so we can start focusing on the old stuff more singularly. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay frosty.